All right, back again with the Impact Talks podcast. Welcome back, Jacob.
Thank you so much, Ulrik, for having me here. It's really nice running through the last event and talking a little bit about the different sessions there.
Yes, indeed it is. Today we're going to talk about Arjen and Ketel's speech and Kiki Koutmeridou, if I pronounce that correctly. How are those talks related to the upcoming event?
What we're looking into to the next event is all about innovation. So it's 6 sessions that will inspire us in different perspectives on how we do innovation in telephone fundraising. And Arjen, his talk was about sharing knowledge about legacy fundraising. So calling people and talking about where they will give money when they pass away and how you do that. So that was very interesting it's probably one of the most sensible conversation types you can have, I can imagine. You know, you're not asking just for $5, you're asking for a lot of money. But most importantly is you're asking people, you know, should this be part of their legacy when they leave the world? So it's very touchy in some sense. And a lot of people are not doing it, even though you should probably be doing it. And from Kiki is about behavioral studies and science, and her showing some cases on how understanding your donor and also making your message fit to the donor by adding these two things together was really important. And how that ties into innovation is that innovation is not always coming up with something really new. Many people believe that. Innovation can just be taking best practice, something that's really, really working well, and start doing it yourself. And that connects into the 11th of June. But I'd like just to go back to Arjen, because what was interesting about telephone fundraising and legacy conversations, as he said, were 3 elements. And the first is normally when you do a lot of telephone fundraising campaigns, you're talking about the change we are making, the people we are helping, the challenge we need to overcome. But in legacy fundraising, it's all about the donor. It's all about you. And then the ability to talk about you and hearing about your interest and motivation for the cause that I'm calling from, I think is a hugely valuable lesson, because it takes more time, but it also focuses on connecting. And that's why Arjen was invited for the donor-centered communication event here in April.
If someone has to donate a large amount after they're gone, it has to be for a charity that they can identify themselves with. So that also means builds upon the importance of building relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you have to be able to identify it. And there's a high probability that somewhere in your life, there's a really strong relationship with whatever the charity is doing. So it's again, the relationship, it's taking the time to do that, but it's also finding out about the donor, if they have kids or they don't have kids, many other elements, how they fit in with the charity they can leave in their will. And most importantly, and really interesting in a very, optimizing focus culture as telephone fundraising is, it's very long term. You don't know when the result will come, but it's about building that relationship over time. And if people really genuinely feel that they've been connected with and connect with the cause, then they will leave something whenever they pass away. Which is an incredibly beautiful thing of leaving a legacy like that.
These two, Kiki and Arjen, did they come up with some specific tools in order to help facilitate that?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't go into the long talk about Arjen, because he actually just went through methodology. Yes, thank you so much. Of the steps that went through in the conversation you do, how you do it, approach it. So it was like if you wanted to do it yourself, you could watch Arjen and you'd be like 90% there of being able to do this calls, except all his experience, of course. And with Kiki, She had some really, really good, clear cases on that there might be multiple identities at work or motivations for people supporting a charity. And a classic example is people who support bird charities that take care of birds. Yeah, you can do that for two reasons. One is environmental, the other one is because of the birds. And the motivation is very different because the nature, the experience in nature and the birds being part of that is one way. And on the other side, you have it's the species, it's the fascination of the specific birds. But I'm not giving full credit to all Kiki's reflections. She's a doctor in psychology. She knows really this in depth, but it's kind of, if you tailor the message differently to those people when you're talking to them, and if you already know what their profile are when you start communicating with them, you'll have a lot better results because you won't be talking about what I find interesting. I'll be talking about what you find interesting, and that's what all donor centrism is all about.
Yes, mastering exactly that.
Yeah,
is actually also what common sales is about.
Yes. Yeah. Again, it's so much common sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just knowing your customer, knowing your client.
Yeah, and it's also knowing your wife. It's also knowing your friends, because you have a relationship with people because you are connected due to shared values and because you have a specific interest, and that's what you should be talking about, not necessarily something completely different. So absolutely, total common sense.
Yeah, so once again, what can people expect from the next event in these with this theme?
With this theme. So the next time around, it's going to be very much on innovation. It's a lot about AI, how do we use that? Very trending subject. But it's also around, again, how do you have really good conversations? Because that's the art form we need to master. When you take away everything around the CRM, the technical issues and everything around, it's the core, it's the conversation, it's connecting with the donor. And I think that's where Kiki and I are just hugely valuable of inspiring and giving us some understanding of we can do so much more to be prepared to have great conversations.
And what if people want to hear the entire speech from the last event?
Yeah. So the easiest way to do that is jump in a time machine, go back in time. No, what we do is until summer, everybody who becomes an annual member of the community get access to all previous events as well. So we have 12 really good speakers already in the community where you can go and watch these videos. And that's an easy way to get a lot of inspiration. We also sell it as an organization, so people can bring their colleagues. And I think here the last time we had 4 teams coming in. So, 4 people from one charity, being able also to share and discuss things afterwards. So it's a good learning platform in that sense for people.
Well, let's encourage people to do that.
Absolutely. And, don't use the time machine. Just show up on the 11th of June. That's the easiest way.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello?